Today's story is about an ex-soldier who is accidentally sent to prison in a murder case. This happens because he was protecting his girlfriend when some boys tried to harm her, but once he reaches jail, he is shocked by the behavior of the guards. The film begins with Soldier Ray, who is returning to his hometown after completing his army service. As soon as he arrives in the city, he goes to meet his girlfriend. He tells Kelly that he has completed his service to his country, and now he wants to dedicate his entire life to her. He says that he wants to spend his whole life with her and proposes marriage. Kelly is very happy to hear this and joyfully accepts his proposal. After that, both of them start walking toward the car, but Kelly realizes that she has forgotten her book in the park. She asks Ray to go back and bring the book. Ray goes back to get it. Meanwhile, two boys come near the car and start harassing Kelly. Kelly asks them to leave and not disturb her until Ray returns, but they continue to bother her. Just then, Ray comes back and sees the two boys. Ray tries to stay calm and tells them to leave peacefully because he does not want to fight. Suddenly, one of the boys steps out of the car and pulls down his pants in front of Kelly to provoke Ray. The boy succeeds in provoking him, and Ray gets angry and attacks him. Suddenly, the boy pulls a knife out of his pocket and tries to stab Ray. He attempts to stab him, but Ray manages to escape. Ray punches him in the stomach and knocks him to the ground. By mistake, the boy ends up stabbing himself with the knife, and he dies. After this incident, Ray goes to a lawyer to understand his legal position in the case. The lawyer tells Ray that his situation is very weak because he was fighting with the boy at the time of his death. The lawyer says he will try to change the charge from murder to an accident so that Ray does not receive a long sentence. Hearing this, Ray is heartbroken because it means he will be separated from his girlfriend Kelly again. But Kelly hugs him and tells him that she will wait for him until he comes out of prison and marries her. After this, the story moves to the house of the dead boy, where his father, Harvey, is sitting with his lawyer. Harvey asks which prison Ray will be sent to. The next day, Harvey goes directly to that prison and meets Officer Jack. He tells Jack everything about what happened to his son and asks him to make Ray's life a living hell. He tells him to torture Ray so badly that he will pray for death 1,000 times. Then Harvey hands him a bag full of money and leaves. A few days later, Ray finds himself in prison with a group of other inmates. They are all standing in a line, and in front of them are 3 guards, Rico, Victor, and Foxy. Rico orders them to take off their clothes and get ready for a body check. After completing the inspection, Rico explains the prison rules. He tells them to follow orders and not fight with guards or other prisoners. After Rico finishes his duty, he orders all the prisoners to wear prison uniforms and go to their respective cells. Ray, however, is taken to the office of the head guard, William. There, Officer Jack talks to Ray about his bravery and the medals he earned during his army service. He then tells William to take good care of Ray and give him the best cell in the prison. But in reality, William takes Ray to the dirtiest cell in the prison and tells him that this is the fate of him and criminals like him. The next day, Ray goes to the prison hospital, where another prisoner tries to pick a fight with him, and a fight breaks out. Just then, the leader Majan arrives. Majan and his gang tell the prisoner that Ray is also an Arab like them, and anyone who tries to come close to Ray will face death. Hearing this, the prisoner gets scared and leaves them alone. Later, Majan comes to meet Ray and tells him that Arabs are one, no matter where they are, and as long as he is there, no one will dare to come near Ray. Ray thanks him for helping him at the right time. Just then, head guard William arrives and scolds Majan for causing trouble. He then takes him to work in the prison office. Meanwhile, Ray meets a prisoner named David who works in the prison office and asks him for something. Ray does not get into fights in the library area because Officer Jack wants him to work there. But the next day, Ray is shocked when guards Rico and his assistants come to search his cell. Ray finds out that Rico has seen a photo of his girlfriend Kelly. Rico starts teasing and harassing him, which makes Ray angry, and he starts abusing him verbally. Rico also gets angry and tells Foxy and Victor to pull Ray out of the cell. As soon as they bring him out, Rico and Foxy beat Ray together, torture him, and humiliate him in front of other prisoners. Victor cannot tolerate this and walks away, returning to his cell. Later, Ray goes to the bathroom to take a shower. There, a prisoner named Hammer tries to molest him. Ray grabs him, beats him so badly that Hammer becomes unconscious. Suddenly, Rico and his companions arrive. They hit Ray on the head and take him to the office. There, they abuse Officer Jack badly and tell Ray that he is a careless person. who does not follow rules. They advise him not to fight with anyone so that he can serve his sentence peacefully. Ray says that he was only defending himself and that they have no right to treat him in such an old and barbaric way. Jack gets angry and says that this is the correct way to control prisoners. Seeing the guards' behavior, Ray gets furious. He abuses them and says that they and their guards are criminals too, and their place is in prison just like other criminals. Hearing this, Rico and Foxy get enraged and start beating Ray with their batons. Then they take him to the bathroom and torture him with cold water. The next day, Ray goes to work in the library, where he sits with David. They talk, and Ray finds out that David has been sentenced to life imprisonment. This sentence was given because David and his brothers attacked a cash truck. They stole more than $1 million and also killed the guards who were protecting the money. Ray then asks David what happened to the stolen money. David tells him that no one knows where the money is hidden because he hid it in a safe place. He further says that he regrets his crime. This is because his wife and his only daughter broke all ties with him after he went to prison. At that moment, Guard Rico arrives and takes Ray to the visitation hall because he has a visitor. As soon as Ray finds out that his girlfriend Kelly has come to meet him, he becomes very happy and starts talking to her. However, he is not allowed to spend more than 10 minutes with her because Rico and Foxy take him back to the library. Ray becomes furious and starts shouting loudly. He cannot understand why the guards and officers are treating him this way. Then David tells him not to come to the library again because he does not want any trouble with the guards and officers. The next day, we see a prisoner named Zed, who is only 18 years old, being beaten by Hammer. Ray steps in and attacks Hammer, saving Zed from being killed. At that moment, Chief Guard William arrives and separates them. Then Rico and Foxy try to attack Ray and grab him so they can put him in solitary confinement, but William stops them. He says that Zed and Hammer are responsible for the fight and that they alone will be punished. After that, he locks Hammer and Zed away in the prison. After being alone, Ray decides to join Majin's gang, hoping that the guards will respect him and no one will bother him anymore. Indeed, 4 weeks pass, and during this time Rico and his assistants do not trouble Ray at all, nor do they come near him. But one day, Ray is cleaning the bathroom when suddenly a prisoner enters and tries to attack him. Ray blocks every strike and beats him until he becomes unconscious. At that moment, Officer Jack, Rico, Foxy, and Victor enter the bathroom. They scold the prisoner for failing to kill Ray. After that, the officer orders his men to tie Ray up, and then everything begins. After they forcibly finish what they do to Ray, Rico and Foxy brutally beat and torture him. When the beating is over, they throw him on the ground and coldly walk away. Because of what happened to Ray, a conflict breaks out between Victor and Rico. Victor tells them that what they are doing is wrong and threatens that if they do not stop torturing Ray, he will report them. Rico calmly replies that if they get caught, Victor will also be exposed because he has taken money from them as well. Victor responds that he does not care about the money anymore and that he will no longer make any compromises with them. At that moment, Chief Guard William enters and asks why they are doing such things to Ray. He threatens them and says that if this behavior is not stopped, they will be sent for an investigation. Hearing this, Rico and Foxy become scared. They go to Officer Jack and tell him everything. They explain that Victor has backed out of the deal and has threatened to report them. Hearing this, Officer Jack becomes extremely tense and tells them to finish the matter as soon as possible, even if they have to kill him. Rico and Foxy follow Jack's orders and kill Victor. They then place the blame on another prisoner. After this, we see David and Ray taking a shower in the bathroom. Suddenly, Majin's men enter and kill the prisoner who had previously fought with Ray. Seeing this, Ray becomes very scared, especially when he finds out that the man who was killed was one of Dodo's men. Dodo is the boss of the Mexican gangsters in the prison. Ray then goes to Dodo and tries to prove his innocence. But Dodo does not trust him and threatens Ray, saying that he will soon take revenge for his man's death. After that, Ray returns to his cell and asks Majin why he killed that prisoner. Majin attacks him, places his foot on Ray's face, and says that no one has the right to question his decisions. From now on, Ray will work with them by force, not by choice, and he will follow all their orders without argument. Majin is about to kill Ray, so Ray is forced to agree in order to save his life and gain protection. Later, Kelly comes to the prison to meet Ray, but Rico and Foxy tell her that she can only go to the visiting room if she removes all her clothes so they can make sure she is not carrying anything illegal. Kelly helplessly agrees to their demand just so she can meet Ray. Taking advantage of the moment, Rico secretly takes naked photos of Kelly and later shows them to Ray. Seeing this, Ray becomes extremely angry. After that, he goes to the visiting room to meet Kelly. He shouts at her and tells her never to come to the prison again. Hurt by Ray's words, Kelly starts crying and leaves. Later, Ray goes T.O. David and tells him everything that happened. Just then, Rico and Foxy arrive and take Ray to an isolated building inside the prison. There, Ray meets Majan, who tells him that he has made a deal with Officer Jack to turn Ray's life into hell. Majan also reveals that he has sent his men outside the prison to capture Ray's girlfriend Kelly and record a video with her. Hearing this, Ray becomes furious and attacks Majan. But Rico and Foxy stop him and try to attack Ray as well. For the first time, Ray manages to overpower them and fights back. He's about to kill them when William arrives. William strikes Ray on the head and throws him into a solitary cell. Ray remains there for a very long time. Due to the darkness, isolation, and cold environment of solitary confinement, Ray's mental condition slowly begins to deteriorate. He keeps screaming all day, hoping that someone will come and take him out. Seeing his condition, the warden orders that Ray be sent back to a regular prison cell. After Ray is released from solitary confinement, William asks him why he attacked Rico and Foxy, but Ray refuses to say anything. The next day in the prison yard, Majan orders Zed to kill Ray, promising that if he succeeds, he will be accepted into the gang. However, Zed refuses because Ray has always helped him. This enrages Majan, who goes to Zed's room with his men and kills him. When Ray finds out what happened, he confronts Majan and calls him a cowardly traitor who hides behind his gang and corrupt security guards. One of Majan's men is offended by Ray's words and attacks him, trying to kill him. Ray brutally beats him until he becomes unconscious. After this, Ray challenges Majan in front of all the prisoners. Majan becomes afraid and tries to back away. The prisoners begin to insult Majan, calling him a coward for being scared to face Ray. Humiliated, Majan gathers courage and attacks Ray. A brutal fight breaks out between the two. In the end, Ray defeats Majan and humiliates him in front of all the prisoners. Because of the humiliation, Majan lies on the ground, grabs a weapon, and tries to kill Ray. But David steps in to protect Ray and gets injured in the process. Taking advantage of the chaos, the gangster Dodo attacks Majan and kills him to avenge his dead friend. After this, Ray goes to Officer Jack's office. There, he is shocked when Jack tells him that his prison sentence has been doubled because of his repeated involvement in fights. Ray is devastated and asks Jack why he treated him so cruelly. Jack then admits that he took a large amount of money from Harvey to make Ray's life in prison a living hell. Ray is heartbroken to hear this. Then it is revealed that everything was a trap to force the truth out of the warden. On William's instructions, Ray had secretly recorded everything. The police arrive to arrest Jack, and William orders the guards to arrest Jack, Rico, and Foxy for their crimes. After that, Ray goes to the prison hospital to meet David and asks him about the location of the hidden money. Ray promises David that he will give the money to his daughter and later tell her to visit her father in prison. In the end, Ray is released from prison. He apologizes to his girlfriend Kelly for his past behavior. Then he meets David's daughter, hands her the bag of money, and tells her to visit her father in prison. Finally, Ray decides to start a new life with his girlfriend Kelly and leave his past behind. This is where today's story ends. If you liked today's film, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you can get all our summaries first.